Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World Daily with me, John Jordan. So the news out today is that Andrea Horowitz is investing into Mavis, the developer behind AXIE Infinity, at a valuation of $3 billion. Sorry, I should say $3 billion. So this is actually sort of a rumor. It's not a rumor. This is something that we've known about for a while, actually. So when companies are raising money, they send around decks and investors get involved, and this is sort of been an open secret really for at least the last month or so. So the information is the first sort of publication to go live with it, but this is not really sort of news for those of us in the blockchain space, which makes me sound a bit pompous, really. But just want to point that out. It's not like these people have found out something that no one else knew. This is sort of been an open secret. So $150 million that's quite a lot of money. Obviously, Series B funding means it's the second big round that AXIE that Mavis has done. It's already done a seed round and a $7.5 million Series A round. So obviously that's a big jump. $7.5 million to a $150 million round is a sort of, do the maths on that. What is it? 20 times. Valuation $3 billion. Yeah. I mean, we know AXIE Infinity has sort of blown up over the past sort of few months, and it's done like $2 billion in NFT trading value. Treasury is up to whatever it is, sort of $500–600 million worth of value. Obviously, that keeps changing because the price of the AXS token, which is its governance token, has just doubled in the last week. So all these things are sort of slightly sort of surreal value figures at the moment. But what's interesting, I think, here is that while AXIE Infinity is a very successful sort of product, the majority of that financial activity is going into a treasury. So Mavis doesn't get that money. That money is there for the community to decide what it wants to do with it, and obviously to a degree, Mavis has a bunch of AXS tokens, so that's sort of how to a degree how you would value them. But what Mavis wants to do is basically, take what it's built with AXIE Infinity, make that a massive game with, or make those NFTs valuable in sort of multiple games. So we have sort of AXIE Infinity is the main game. We can think about the land stuff coming and crafting and materials and a whole bunch of new features to come to that game. Then we think about things like sort of esports elements with AXIE Infinity. We can think about other people building other games on those NFTs. So AXIE Infinity, Mavis, potentially needs money to give to other developers to make, I don't know, a racing game using AXIE Infinity. Why would you do a racing game? Well, you wouldn't. But there's lots of things you sort of could do with AXIE Infinity as a base layer NFT sort of platform. Also, what it wants to do is build out the Ronin blockchain. So that's its Ethereum sidechain or scaling solution. It wants other developers to come on and build their own games on there. So games nothing to do with AXIE Infinity. So you can imagine. If you're doing that sort of stuff, you need a whole bunch of developer support and tools and people writing code, and probably you need to fund some developers as well, or at least give them some sort of seed funding to get stuff up and running. So $150 million seems like a lot, but maybe actually isn't very much. Equally, we've seen people like Dapper Labs and their Flow blockchain. They raised $250 million last week on top of $305 million earlier in the year. So they've raised over $600 million. Obviously, So Rare raised $680 million to do all its licensing stuff for its football game. So we've known for a while that these companies are raising big sums of money, and on that basis, Mavis hasn't actually raised that much money. In a sense, it doesn't need to because it's sitting on the most successful blockchain game ever. Also interesting to see that is Andreessen Horowitz. So that Andreessen Horowitz and its crypto fund, they've gone heavily into crypto for the last couple of years. They've really gone heavily into certain sort of blockchain game projects. So AXIE Infinity. Also OpenSea, Dapper Labs as well. So they're making sort of some big bets on specific sort of projects, and they've got a lot of money still to deploy. They've got, I think there is $2 billion in their crypto fund. Obviously not just for games, but they're pretty aggressive at this being the time to deploy money fast into a sector that is really changing very fast and really getting very big very fast. So that's sort of the takeaway, that the money and the isn't necessarily the important thing. Is this sort of gives AXIE Mavis, or I should say, the ability to sort of scale really quickly, and you need that because your competitors are sort of scaling quickly as well. So good for blockchain game developers. If you're a blockchain game, if you're a company who wants to make blockchain games, there's a lot of money sort of now sloshing around from these blockchains and these sort of platforms a lot of help around to get your game up and running on their platforms, because they need games to be running on their platform. So a lot of competition amongst platforms for developers. So it's good for developers, I guess. That's the takeaway I would take. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Blockchain Gaming World, where we are keeping our eyes and our ears and our whatever, our pulse, finger on the pulse. That's always the one I get wrong, of the blockchain game space. So keep it here. Subscribe for the daily news. But thanks for watching, and see you again soon.